There we go. We're back with part 2 of our Torchbearer one-shot.
Yeah.
We're in a wizard's tower.
Yep. And when last we left off, you had just secured yourself some mirror. You pulled a mirror off a wall, and you're going to take that and sell it later.
Yep.
Yep.
We take it to the
Wonderful.
trapdoor and jump it and drop it down, and it clangs very loudly, probably.
I mean, I've already been yelling that we're about to rob the place to whoever's around.
So which one of you would like to open the door that's there? Not that one, pointing up, but that one. I say pointing to the sideways one.
I would like to take our extra rope that's not in a bag or on anyone's body that we have in this room and tie it and pull it from a very far distance open.
Okay.
Yeah?
Mostly
all right.
because I am sick and angry and don't want to get stabbed.
Okay. It'll be an Ob 3 health test to pull the rusted metal door open.
Can I get some help?
I'll pull it.
I will help. Can we spend fate after helping? After the roll is to spend fate to advance from helping someone after the roll is done?
No, you declare that before.
I will not. I will help, but I will not spend fate. I figured I need that for the 6s.
Fair enough. No, I'll pull the door. Do we all 3 want to pull the door or no?
The rope will hypothetically make our punishment less bad because of fictional positioning.
Right, I have to... Actually, with the rope and 1 bit of help, I'm rolling 6 on 3, so I think that's pretty reasonable.
Or are you rolling? Yeah, you can roll.
If you're alright with that.
That's
You use the highest base health, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a base 5.
You're also still sick.
Yeah, but even then, I'm rolling 6 on 3 right now.
Yeah.
So I'm, thinking that those war wounds, they're just aggravated right around now.
Wait,
Are you
are
getting a check?
you getting are you playing it against yourself?
Yes, I am.
But you do it as you're pulling the door.
Yeah,
It's just like, I got this, guys. I got this. And it's oh no, my war wound. Why are you making
I
me
regret
do this?
helping.
Like you didn't choose to do it.
There's no need to regret helping. Come on now.
Give it a minute.
Okay. Now, as I say that, do I have help from the other, talky person?
Yeah, no, I'm helping.
You are helping?
Yeah, I tied the rope on the door and scuttled back. It's help.
That's not pulling the rope helping, though.
That's not help. That's gear.
I use
yeah, you should add a gear die if Zen agrees.
I did add a gear die.
Okay.
Yes, I'm helping pull the rope.
Okay.
Now,
Let's
on
see how this
3,
goes.
like...
1 and... Oh.
I
No
said...
sixes.
No, it's... When you do on 3, it has to be when I say go after 3. Everyone knows this.
When you say go, huh? I was
Elves
counting in my
count to
head. It was
5.
on 3.
We have 5 fingers. You count to 5.
All right. So what happens as you're yanking on this rope is you can feel the lock in the door buckle, but you can also feel the rust around the latch buckle as well, and you pull the latch straight off of the door, creating a hole. The door is technically open at this point. It is not sealed shut by the lock anymore. However, you do see, like, forcing its way through the hole and then plopping out onto the floor on your side, several very large, probably the size of a small dog, rats. These are troll rats. They skitter and jump towards you, and it's up to you how you want to decide. How do you want to deal with them?
Oh, no, before anything happens, my Pokédex activates, and I get ancient elven knowledge about these rats.
Correct, you do.
Yep, your instinct.
All right, so these are troll rats. Your instinct triggers a test, so go ahead and roll your lore master against Ob 2.
Out?
And since it's an instinct and it's happening quickly, unless you have an instinct that feeds this or nature that feeds this, you cannot help.
War Master.
Yeah, no, that's a stretch.
I mean, I guess I have Scholar, actually. Don't know
Well,
why,
do
but
you have a descriptor in your nature or an instinct that would trigger to help you with this test? Because
Yeah.
it's happening so fast.
Yeah,
It has to be an instinct for you to do it
a
too.
subconscious reflex
yeah,
to help.
okay. No, not so much.
I can demand that he tell me what these rats are, but I don't think that's helpful.
All right, so it looks like you're on your own on Ob
Hmm.
2.
I am fiery though, and I think in my haste to retrieve my bow, I end up smacking the Pokédex out of earshot.
Okay. So in your haste, you hurt your roll here by dropping the Pokédex.
Oh no,
All
I
right.
failed.
Yes, you have failed. And I think the failure on this is you don't get to decide what kind of conflict this is going to be. You don't decide how this is going to be attacked. They are trying to
Well,
kill you now,
Yep.
and we'll go into a conflict.
All right.
Gotta get those checks.
This cookie is like eating a rock.
All right, so with conflicts, we determine the conflict type. The type is kill.
Or
Um,
maim? Can we make
nope.
it a maim?
They decide the conflict because of the failed test.
The GM decides the conflict. Like you had a second to like maybe figure out, throw some food at them, distract them, whatever. But due to the failure, that's out of your hands now. The GM, however, always does decide the conflict based on the narrative, the type of conflict.
Is there like
Does
a list
that
of 4
mean-
conflict types or something?
There are you could drive them off is another conflict type, which is usually easier. You're not aiming to kill them, you just want to make them go away. But in this instance, they're for whatever reason fighting to the death.
Does that mean it was a success with a twist, basically, or is a twist a failure as well?
This is a failed twist, but narratively, the door is no longer locked, and to open it is still going to be a test, but at a lower obstacle because it's just rusted shut now. There's no lock.
Okay.
All right.
I would have failed this test no matter what. I was rolling 1 die against 2. I'm just trying to get my checks in.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. As for
0d6.
for conflicts, there's a conflict procedure. There's a whole folder of stuff. It'll show you your weapons and what they can do in a conflict, or violent conflict weapons. And the thing we have to pay attention to here is compromise. So each side is going to have health points, basically. And you're going to exchange damage between yourselves, and those numbers will change. Based on what those numbers are when one of you hits 0, there will be either a minor compromise, a half compromise, or a major compromise. So if you have all your health, but you kill all these rats, maybe you took one hit, there's a minor compromise. You don't lose much. A major compromise in a kill conflict can mean that at the end of this, one of you is dead.
Okay.
Is it possible to cast a spell before this goes?
So your Wizard's Aegis is specific for this. It is, you don't have to roll to cast it. You just use it in conflicts.
Oh. Okay.
And
I use up the memory palace.
Yeah, it means you can roll Arcanist instead of Defender when you defend.
Well,
or whatever the Defender skill is.
Yeah. Given that my Arcanist is my highest skill, I'm going to use it. And that this is a kill conflict.
Yeah. All right, so this works on a card system. There are 4 different attack types. There is Defend, Maneuver, Attack, and Feint. On these cards, if you highlight it and hit Z, it blows it up so you can see the card. it'll show you the action interaction at the bottom. So you've got that circle that says ADFM, attack, defend, feint, and maneuver.
I'm still on the
The
world
V's.
What?
Oh,
Yes.
I never brought you guys over to this.
map. Nope.
No.
Nope.
We've been on the world map the entire time.
Whoops.
Oh.
Well, this is interesting.
I thought you'd been seeing this the entire time. My bad.
No.
That's fine.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, on the cards at the bottom, it'll show you whether it's a versus test, an independent test, or no test.
Okay.
So let me pull out your cards. Or my decks.
Okay, so defend, maneuver, attack.
Your cards are the blue-backed ones.
I see.
Okay, what exactly does that X, the circle, and the V and I?
So
So,
I'm
yeah.
assuming that's versus and independent, but what does their
Yep.
placement?
So the card itself will tell you what you're playing. In the circle are the other things it could be matched against when the two cards come into conflict.
Yeah, in
So if
the
it's a
very
feint versus
center
an
of the
attack-
X. At the very center of the X are 4 letters, but the 4 smaller letters that aren't the big type of test letters.
Oh, so
We cannot even see because they are so small.
Click it.
You can,
Okay.
you
Click
can
a
click
card.
on it to zoom in. So, like, attack versus attack is 2 independent tests.
Yeah.
Attack versus defend is a versus. Attack versus feint is independent. Attack versus maneuver is versus.
And Marissa, if you highlight it and hit Z, it'll blow up the card so you can see what's going on.
It's a very stylized graphic.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not sure I like these cards. I just found them online. I might find better ones.
There we go.
So we all right.
What
so
does
what's,
maneuver do again? I'm trying to find that. It's probably on the player cheat sheet. No.
So maneuver. So the 4 basic attacks: attack, obvious; defend, obvious. Maneuver is sort of you getting into a better
Position.
placement.
Yeah, I think maneuver buffs the roll for the next roll after that, the next action, if I'm not mistaken, if you have
Yep,
extra successes. And feint is an attack that bypasses defend, if I'm not mistaken as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the risk is feint versus attack. You do nothing and they just punch you.
Yeah.
That's the risk with
Okay.
feint. That's the risk with feint. Is like it works if they're trying to defend themselves, but it murders you if they are just gonna mull straight through you.
And if you have the Scholar's Guide open, it's page 67 has all of these actions.
Zen, do you want to choose the rat's actions first before we discuss?
Yes, I will.
And we each get one.
Yeah, you each get one exchange, one volley.
We each are, since there's 3 of us, we are each one of the actions.
So, who is leading this?
I mean, I can go first.
Well, leading is different than going first, I believe, right?
Yeah. So the leader will help determine your health points, basically, your HP for this fight.
Who's our?
It's called a
combat
disposition roll.
Probably me.
I got fighter 3.
Oh, fighter 4.
And yeah, I think that's probably your best bet because my Arcanist skill doesn't roll for disposition; it's just to defend.
Correct.
Sorry, I'm a little lost, but I'll keep going. Am I rolling for something here?
I'm getting down to it right now, so I don't miss anything.
There's team hit points, not individual hit points.
Ah.
And we're each round, because there's 3 of us, we're each going to pick a card and decide what order we go in, and we pair them one at a time with the rats, but Zen places the cards first, so we have a chance to strategize.
It's a simplified version of the Burning Wheel fight system.
Yeah. So the rats, so Zen can't, like, counter us directly. the rats pick first, and then we could talk about our plan so we could line up our actions to work together, and we
Yep.
do the combat in one round as we flip the cards one at a time.
Yep.
So
Okay.
the riskiest but most effective strategy is attack, attack, attack.
Do we
Mhm.
in a kill conflict? I don't necessarily. We'll talk about it.
I'm not suggesting we do that,
Yeah.
but that is the most effective, but at the same time riskiest strategy is full frontal assault, and that's
Yep.
represented by going attack, attack, attack.
Yeah. What is the might difference between us and these rats?
You are more mighty than the rats.
Okay. So that means we get an extra roll, I believe, to a +1 die to everything during the fight? Or is it just for disposition?
It's for disposition and breaking ties.
Okay.
Yeah, because might is factored after the roll.
Okay.
And all of this can be seen. There's a conflict procedure. Not that great to be able to read upon reflection, but it's at the back of, I think, the Scholar's Guide.
Mm-hmm.
So for disposition, generate a team's disposition. The conflict captain rolls the appropriate skill. In this case, it'll be fighter.
Yep.
And the successes from that are added to your health rating, and that determines your disposition.
Okay, that makes sense.
When injured or sick, you suffer a -1d penalty when rolling for disposition.
Okay.
Is that your only condition?
Yes, it is.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's fighter
Is there any
-1.
haggling for the pool at this point, or it's just a matter of roll 3?
You can still use, it's still a roll, right? You can still use things. I don't think we can help with disposition, though I could be wrong.
You can help, but the thing is, there are no other things you can add into it, really. Help is really the only dice you can add to the pool.
Yeah, I'm helping.
Okay. Can I
I'm
help
looking
with my
intimidating.
Arcanist in this way since I'm defending, or does that not help with in this case?
You can help with basically anything.
Anything that's fictional,
combat related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that case, I'll help
And
with my Arcanist.
Yeah, I'll also help with fighter. I draw my bow, knock an
I-
arrow.
Assume that's just, 1 each.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's no gear and supplies. That doesn't actually affect us. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Not that much luck.
Was it supposed to be a versus 3?
Versus 3?
It says versus obstacle 3. I think it was.
It's
In
not
that
versus
case-
an
It's
Yeah,
a
I-
disposition. Yeah, you got to change it to
You have to
the
change it to-
disposition
Ah.
roll.
And that's gonna actually change. Oh, I see. And the might, it is might.
You should get a bonus, from the might as well, bonus die,
Mhm.
because we are mightier than they are.
Right now it's saying 5 versus 3. It's got disposition will checked off.
I actually didn't test the
Might
disposition.
precedence or neither?
So, might.
Sorry.
It's might. Might
Yeah,
is the
click
correct
might.
answer.
Yeah.
Okay, might is great. Disposition, will, health, or nature.
So you're rolling. The disposition is health.
Okay. Okay, let's try this again and see if this will make sense. Okay.
Huzzah!
So
Your base health
Your-
of 5 is 5 disposition, plus 2
Yep.
successes for the roll is 7.
Yep. correct.
Okay.
We have 7 hit points.
We have 7
And you can
hit
track
points.
that on there's a party token here you guys should have access to, I would hope. Track that in one of the bubbles if you want.
It also says in the conflict procedure that it is specifically divided up amongst participants.
Correct.
So, I guess that's 2, 2, and 3. Who gets the extra hit point, Marissa?
The dainty
I-
elf or the bookworm?
Pardon?
Is it the dainty elf or the bookworm?
Or
I
yourself.
think in this case, I'm going to hand it off to the bookworm, actually.
Yes. My
Okay.
magical shields.
All I know
Now-
is it's not going to me because it's you guys who need to be alive.
Oh.
Now the HP that the HP itself is sort of a how we track who's involved in the fight. At the end of the fight, the compromise doesn't necessarily have to reflect who took all of that damage. Like, you're not necessarily dead during the compromise. That's something we can talk about. But yeah.
Yeah.
If
So
you go to 0, though, you don't get any more actions.
So if the rats pick their cards?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I
My
don't-
theory is the rats are dumb. I'm assuming attack from the dumb troll rats.
I'm considering that too. They looked like they seemed very murder hostile. So they might be something along the lines of triple attack or attack. They're probably not going to faint. But, they might defend themselves or maneuver. Either way,
I think maneuver over defend.
I have a bonus to specifically defend though, if I can defend. I don't think they're going to faint though.
We probably go. I was thinking I could maneuver to get the to get the rats within hammering distance of the dwarf. Dwarf hit rat.
Okay, so
And
I
then
could
you
defend
pull the-
first. They're likely
You
to
defend
attack
on
first.
you can defend either the first action or the last action.
I was thinking the first action is likely going to be their big attack, but they
Okay.
could maneuver first and then attack. As more
So
of
we
them
how about we
scramble out.
go defend, maneuver, dwarf smash. Does that sound like
First
a
off,
Just a
plan?
heads-
I think I should probably clarify. I have a hand axe, not a hammer. I
Okay.
have like a hammer.
Sorry. Dwarf chop. I apologize.
No, the only reason I'm wondering that is because I'm looking at the special weapons thing and just trying to
Yeah.
figure out what's with that.
So when you build your dice pool, your weapon will affect it.
Yeah.
Based on what weapon you have, it might be better for certain actions. Like a flail is pretty much always good unless you're maneuvering.
What is a bow maneuvering?
A bow
Yeah, it
is
looks like
plus
it's
2 to maneuver.
Yep. So yeah, you're good if you maneuver. I'm good if I defend. I am worried the rats might maneuver first to get up close to us, but they could just attack first and rush us. So I'm good to honestly be either the first or last for attacking or defending, or for defending rather. I could defend first or last. Does anyone have a preference?
At this point, I am still 100% lost, so I'm going to go this first round listening to you guys, and then hopefully figure out what
I
to do.
think we open up with you defending. I'll
Okay.
maneuver to get the rats in position, and then the dwarf can chop rat.
Okay, so then we're going to defend with me, maneuver with Indigo, and attack with Marissa. Okay,
Cool.
that's our final answer.
Okay.
Well, I don't know why these are. Yeah, let's flip all of these because we just said what they are.
Yeah, we know we know what they are.
First round. Okay,
Defend versus attack.
defend versus attack. So the rats just try to rush us.
Yep.
Okay, I conjure a magical shield to try and block them.
Okay. I gotta build their dice here.
I probably try to block the doorway they're coming through and just like trap them in there.
Not 10 or more rats. Alright,
And this
and
is
they
a
are
versus
using-
test. So if you tell me what their total dice pool is, I can put it into my versus test.
Ah, that's right, you can. So the total dice pool here. There's only 5.
Okay, that's brutal. I have 4 dice as my base. Obviously, no one's helping because there's 3 of us and 3 actions. I have a trait I can use. I'm being attacked. I might spend my persona on this. Oh! Because I have the item that is used for the spell, does that give me +1 because of the spell?
Yes.
Okay. There we go. That's equal. I will spend a persona. My only persona.
Is there a trait you can invoke?
Thoughtful and Wizard Sight. I don't think either of those help. I have a wise that's relevant to this, but that just lets me help someone else if I'm not participating, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. I hate to ask this. Oh, we have a torch out, don't we? Who's in the torchlight? I can be the one holding the torch if we haven't
You're
established.
probably the one holding it.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the other 2 of you is in dim light. And it's up to you because you kind of like fell backwards with the rope.
Yeah.
So
I think I
whatever
might
order
be
you
in
wanna
dim
be in.
light.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Perfect. That makes sense. Then I will roll.
And it'll stay like that for the rest of the fight unless you maneuver.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I succeed in
All
stopping
right,
their
3
attack.
successes. Yes. And they are going to attack. Oh yeah, they're. Oh, that rolls for them. I really like this. Okay.
So that's the
Yeah.
first action.
So they're gonna. Yep. They're gonna take some damage on that to their health pool of 5.
They take damage on a defend?
If it's
successful
over extra successes.
Okay.
Yep. So I think some of them just run into the invisible force field that I put, and that probably disconcerts them a bit. Is this a swarm, given that they're dog-sized, or is this just like a pack?
It's not technically a swarm. A swarm would be 10 or more.
Mm.
You're currently fighting 4 of them.
Okay. That's my action. So next is the maneuver. What do we got?
So I shoot a bunch of arrows and try to herd them towards the waiting axe.
Yep.
Okay, and it is maneuver versus a feint. Because they actually do have a weapon for feint. They will feint.
Interesting. What is feint?
That is their
maneuver?
weapon in a kill conflict. Feint versus maneuver.
It's an independent test.
Yep.
So they both happen simultaneously. Okay.
Yep.
So I roll fighter against obstacle 0.
Yes. There should be one for independent obstacle 0.
Yeah, it's basically ob 1 when it's independent.
True.
Okay. Then I have +2 dice because I'm using a bow during maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Zen, but Skirmish Wise seems relatively useless if I can't use it while also acting in a conflict.
If there's 4 people, you stand in the back and go, "Hey, swing better."
Well, that's the thing. If there's 4 people, there's already a thing that says I help anyways.
Yeah.
So Skirmish Wise doesn't seem useful.
Each of you can help here in each test.
It's
just the person leading the test. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I have Skirmish Wise. I'm going to help all the time. So
that's a great help skill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does it cost fate to help with a wise? I think
it costs fate to use a wise.
Okay, then I will. Yeah, I'll just help with Skirmish Wise. You get a free +1 to the dice.
Cool.
And they got 2 successes on their feint.
Okay, 2 each.
Oh, reduces yours by 2.
We reduce theirs by 2?
And your maneuver.
Oh, I
So
thought
spend the maneuver margin of success on the effects below. You maneuver effects. Margin of success 1, you can impede, imposing a -1d disadvantage on your opponent. This is on page 69 of the Scholar's Guide. So yeah, with 1 success, you can do a -1d advantage. With 2 successes, you can gain position, and it's +2d advantage to your team's next action.
That's the one we want.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah.
2 dice to the dwarven chop.
And their feint effects are disposition directly, or is it like?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Yep. Feint reduces the opponent's hit points by the margin of success. So actually,
Okay.
that only went down by 1, not 2.
Now,
Okay.
this is a painful question, but if Indigo's character only had 2 hit points, does that matter? 'Cause they
Not
just
yet.
by 2.
No, went down by 1, is what Xander said.
Yep.
Okay.
Went down by 1. You do have, if you want to use your armor, you can armor against that.
Yeah, I will.
You gonna break your helmet, or
I have a leather jerkin.
okay?
And they simplified armor, so
But-
it's a guaranteed, just like.
Yeah, it's ablative. Basically, your leather armor can be repaired.
Okay.
There's I think there might be a roll.
I approve. I thought leather armor, at least in the first edition, had like a chance to.
Yeah, I think it's like a D6 or something, but that might be higher armors. I'm sorry, I'm not entirely well versed on the game yet.
Either way, they bite into my leather jerkin.
My
ancestral jerkin.
Perfect.
Your ancestral elven jerk.
Of course.
Because you're an ancestral elven jerk.
Yeah.
Armor is not in this book. Knew I was going to fight against this the entire time.
Here we go. I will check real quick. When you take damage, roll a d6. 4 to 6, your leather armor absorbs, 50-50 chance, basically, of absorbing damage.
Okay.
You can only make this roll once per fight, but the armor cannot be damaged or destroyed if it's leather.
It's a 3.
Spears, bolts, and arrows also will automatically bypass leather armor.
Yep. On a 3, it does not absorb damage.
Nope. Your leather armor
But
does not.
I cannot break leather armor?
You also cannot break leather armor. It says it is immune to being broken.
That is amazing. Leather armor is the best armor. Just
Impressive, yes.
Mhm.
Yep. You can only do that once per fight, but yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, just use it every fight. Just use it all the time. It doesn't matter. Just use it whenever.
Do you want to use, or can you use your helmet anyways? After the leather armor fails?
I'd say probably not.
Okay.
I mean, you determine. You tried to absorb it with the leather armor. You can't then put your head
It's
in
like,
the way.
wait, hold on. Eat this instead.
Oh wait, hold up.
Okay.
All right, so we're good there, and the last attack versus defend.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a +2 bonus to this attack, Marissa.
Yes.
And it'll be a versus against their presumably 5 dice, you said, Sen?
Down to 4.
Okay.
Okay, so we'd be rolling fighter here. We've got versus, it's up to 4.
And we'll talk about advancement in a conflict after, because not every roll in a conflict advances, right?
Yeah, you
I'm
pick one that
trying-
you used.
So I guess for the other modifiers, should I just click other modifiers to put that +2 in? Yeah.
You can.
Also +1 for my skirmish-wise help.
Can
I'm
I just help with fighter?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep peppering them with arrows as they go your way.
I just don't have fighter, which is why it's
Yeah,
helpful that
no,
I
it's
have
fair enough.
skirmish-wise.
That's probably why the character's built that way, so you don't feel like a tool in conflict.
Yeah, alright.
Interestingly, when you build a sorcerer, your spells are random, so you won't necessarily have that spell.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, far as I can tell, I'll just make the roll, I guess.
Yep.
No, it's versus. That's the button
yeah.
you want to click.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
you click
so
versus.
Versus
And in
4.
the obstacle, put 4 because it'll roll 4 dice for
Yep.
that.
Okay, then we're good.
Cool.
Okay.
Huzzah.
All right. Yeah, you injure them.
Huh.
Just want to make sure there's no added things to this. $20.
Leave that.
Attack, played against defender maneuvers versus test, and yep, it's just straight up damage.
All right.
Okay. So now you're rolling against 3. Basically, each point off is going to be 1 rat that can't help anymore.
That makes sense.
Okay. Do we have anywhere here where we're tracking the hit points of either side?
On the tokens.
Yeah, if you click the party token, it's got a 6 in the green box there, or green circle. And mine has a...
Beautiful.
I don't know if you can see mine. I should make it
You
so
can.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Getting the hang of this.
Yeah. I think it's a great little combat mini game because it's the
I-
same one in Mouse Guard.
I do love rock, paper, scissors systems. It's just a little to learn on the drop of the hat, and those
Yes.
cards are
Yeah.
not helpful.
No, the graphics not super helpful, but I think this is honestly, this is just as engaging as like a grid map system.
I agree.
I like rock, paper,
It's also
scissors
honestly
systems. I like
faster
grid
than a
map
typical
systems,
fight.
but
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right,
Well, it
now
looks
the
like
rats.
are out there, so.
Yeah. So now we have to consider. I think they're gonna do attack on the opening move again.
They have a
because the
feint
last
weapon.
one was they do have a feint. Not saying a feint won't be in there, but they defended last. I don't think they would defend again. I feel like they would then move for a feint or attack.
Here's the big
So
thing. Every time we attack, we lower their dice pool.
attack, I did say was the most efficient way to end any problem.
I'm useless at attacking. So I'd recommend starting with an attack. But I should defend maybe in the middle or last one.
You think defend in the middle?
I think defend in the middle.
Okay. So defend in the middle, and then attack and attack on either side. What do you guys want to do?
I'm not very
I
good
like
at
it.
attacking.
I like
And
attack and attack. I, again, actually want break armor because, yay, then I can do something useful.
Okay.
It's worth noting that a bow can only be used to attack once per fight. It is after that it's assumed that something's up in your face.
Okay. And it hasn't been used to attack yet, just to maneuver?
Correct.
Yeah,
Does
just
it matter, or which of us is doing the first attack? Also, how does one? Oh, there we go.
Yep, just right click flip. I think Marissa is the better
Is Tommy
attacker.
first?
You should start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first attack will be mine.
We're good with this? Okay. Now the downside is if they're attacking at the same time, we get screwed. But if they're feinting, our attack negates their feint entirely.
I think I'm gonna actually feint instead of attack.
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
They feinted
Does
in the
feint
middle
just
last
give you
time.
half the amount of an attack, or is
No,
there...
it is just a different type of attack, but it has different
Bypasses.
weaknesses
It
and strengths.
avoids defense.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
The problem is if you're attacked when you're fainting, you get
Perfect.
screwed.
Yep. So, though maneuver is almost attack, feint, defend are the real 3 rock paper scissors, and then maneuvers sort of you can be used to buff one of the others when they go next. That's mostly how it works.
I'll flip all 3 so you guys can just assemble your pools while
okay.
While everything's going on. And I did say that they were fighting to the death.
There it is. Yep, that's the other risk.
Oh, we might be dead. Sorry.
We have to take them out in the first attack, and even then, it's iffy. But at least the latter two attacks will be lower dice pools if we can get some successes in there.
Mm-hmm. Now, the thing about attack versus attack is neither of you are defending, so
yep, you each,
it's an
we each take
independent
full
test. You're
damage.
gonna hit somebody.
So this is an independent test. All right, against obstacle, in this case 3. Rolling that thing. Do I have 2 help from you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. How much more can I do here? This might be a good time to place Persona. I just have that feeling that if I'm using it, it should be now.
What's your nature?
I'm trying to move it, but unfortunately I can't move the thing to see. Because
Yeah,
it's
you can't move the thing.
latched on in very helpful ways.
Oh, that,
Okay,
yeah.
I've got Delving, Crafting, and Avenging Grudges. I'm tempted to try and argue for Avenging Grudges there.
Oh, because the troll
on
rats?
the fact that they actually... I'd take that.
But I also
was
think
actually
rats...
going to go because they bit the friend over here, and I am really not okay with my friends.
That is your goal, is keep everyone alive.
Yeah,
And the belief.
yeah, because it's part of your belief. Now, the advice in the book says when a dwarf has a grudge, they have to have a belief about it. So,
if any of my companions are injured, I have failed.
Yep.
Oh,
there you
killed.
Go.
Killed, you said, not injured.
Yes. If any of my companions are injured, I have failed. So, yes. What on earth is the use nature inside or outside?
So, if it's inside your nature, meaning that it does qualify for Avenging Grudges, that means that when you roll it, you can just add your nature, no problem. If it was outside of your nature, meaning that you were avenging a grudge that you didn't have any reason to have a grudge against that thing, it would, if you failed, it would tax your nature and you'd lose some of your nature.
Okay. No gear supplies. I could technically, like, the weapon thing I have there is turn one test into a versus test. Is that something that would be useful to do in this instance?
It means the rats don't get a straight attack on us.
I think that's
but
worth
we
it.
do less damage.
We have more dice than they do. That's definitely worth it.
Okay, I don't know what it means about me throwing my weapon away, but right now I'm rolling 11
It's not
versus
throwing.
3.
I think it's just using its effectively special ability.
Okay.
I don't think you literally throw it away.
Violent conflict weapons. It is a sword or an axe?
It's an axe.
Hand axe, it says.
Maybe thrown once per fight to change attack versus.
Never mind, you're right. Thrown.
So, yeah.
I do still think that's worth it.
You have to chuck your axe.
Sure, that sounds healthy. Let's do it.
They're going to take us out this round if we don't try.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay, so in the versus, just put 3 in the obstacle.
Yep. Dim light, I guess I should click that button.
No, you're not in dim light. I'm in dim light.
Oh, yeah, because you maneuvered away.
Right. Yeah, yep. Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything to actually click that. That just changed the fight. Let's roll the dice. Really? I had 11 dice and I got that. I am going to roll fate.
Okay.
That is just so sad.
It really is.
Roll another
one.
That might kill it if we get a success on this, I think. No.
No.
Oh,
okay, so that's 5.
4 because of the -1.
The -1's taken into account.
I don't think it is. I counted
it's
the
not.
dice.
Yeah, it's not. The -1 success is calculated after the what's on the top.
Yep.
11.
That's still 2 damage we basically do to them, I think.
Yes. The other thing you do. Oh, I gotta look up the rule for that. There were only 3.
Yep. No, there's only. Yes.
I
forgot that was a thing.
That might be the case. I gotta look at what happens when there's only 1 left.
Okay.
If we were doing a longer campaign, I might also be cursing myself for using all of my Fate and Persona while I'm sick.
We'll get
Therefore,
more.
it does not count for advancement.
Yep.
Well, I don't think using Fate and
Abilities
Persona
combined.
themselves give you things.
It looks like it does. Like that's when
It's
you
pass fail.
to grow up.
It's pass
oh,
fail.
that's pass. Then why does it have an F and an L?
Oh, F and L.
Or
P and L is for
sorry.
pass fail, not Persona Fate.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Those actions stand. It's just the last rat that takes them.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was wondering. But it only has a single die.
Yep.
So
Well, it's got 2. It has its nature.
you're right. 2 dice. Okay. I will roll Arcanist. Am I being helped in this defense?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Sure.
This is versus. They have a 2 dice pool. I'm getting 2 dice of help. And I have a +1 because I'm still using my gear for my spell. Right? That still is the case?
Yes.
Perfect.
It lasts for the fight.
Okay.
With the versus test on that last one, did we take 2 damage? And if so, can we use armor to stop
No,
that?
We took no
we
damage.
did not. We took no damage because we won the versus test. That's the benefit of the versus test over the independent test, because otherwise we would have taken the 2.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Although we're going to take damage on my turn, so...
Yeah.
You're not going to get that far.
Oh, no?
Oh,
Good.
because I defended the crap out of this.
You defended so
I
good.
defended so good. Yeah.
So defend, does that actually take things off? Where's the damn action?
Very
I don't need
impressive
to roll
defensive
Fate.
roll.
Defend. Defend blocks, attacks, and maneuvers, and restores hit points.
Oh, it doesn't deal disposition
yeah.
damage?
It
No.
heals us.
Hmm.
Okay.
We'll have to keep that in mind.
Defend played against attack maneuvers versus test. Defendant. Okay, here it is. Regroup. Regrouping allows a team to regain hit points and bring fallen teammates back into the fray. Restore hit points like so. In a versus test, add the margin of success to your hit points. The hit points of the acting character are restored first. After their own hit points are restored to their starting total, they may allocate the hit points to another teammate.
Okay, so it doesn't deal damage. We are just back to our 7 instead of 6.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
It's going to go down again, because I don't do anything.
Correct. But, there's a 25% chance they could also do nothing.
True. And this is an independent test.
I mean,
against...
you can have them bite your helmet. Or wait,
That's...
no, it's not even...
Yeah,
Well,
no,
yeah.
that would work.
Where did that... I've lost everything on my screen. Hang on.
But that also means, remember, the rats could defend too.
There.
And then restore their numbers. Somehow. I guess they just get back up.
Yep, they attack for 1.
Do you use your helmet?
Yeah, I shove my head in their mouth.
Okay. So your helmet is broken, but you are not injured.
Okay.
Right, round 3.
Quick question. Does the conflict ends at the end of the round or immediately?
Immediately upon one party reaching 0.
Okay.
Which, knowing the rules about defense and getting those points back up, if you want to avoid a major compromise,
Defend before.
plan your defend right. Yeah.
I think now we attack.
I'm kind of tempted to defend. One, because I don't have a violent weapon, but I do have a shield still. So I'd say let me defend at the end there.
I can only defend, that's the thing. And we don't want to defend at the end, because then the only reason that defense will go off is if there's another round of combat, and we want to finish this round. I think the best thing would actually
if
be
we're finishing it this round and we're defending at the end, isn't that what we were saying about avoiding that major compromise?
We can only finish the conflict, unless we lose, but by winning the conflict has to be through an attack or a feint, basically.
I think we defend maneuver at the end.
I think the rats are going to defend this turn, or at least it's a possibility. I think we might want to.
What the
We should
rats
wait,
actually
is
think
what
the
we should
action
do.
before we start discussing it.
Yes, I have some
Yeah,
ideas.
I was
I thought you
trying
were
not
done.
to listen to you guys. No, I was building it the whole time. I'm like, okay.
Good.
All right, now discuss.
Okay.
The rats, in my opinion, the two things the rats are probably not going to maneuver first thing. I think they might defend to get more dice back. They also might attack because they're crazed and just want to attack. And they also might faint because they have a weapon for that. When it comes to that, I think we might want to attack first because that can deal with both the defend and the feint. And honestly, it's not too bad even if they attack back. So I think we want to open with an attack.
All right.
If that doesn't
Think I'd
finish
be-
them off and then they end up dealing damage to us, I can defend after that. Hopefully they aren't fainting then.
So we're gonna go attack, defend, defend.
What about attack, defend, maneuver?
If I maneuver, can I get that axe back? Because that's kind of the
I
options
think-
on what I can do there.
With maneuver,
Well, you don't need the axe to attack, I don't believe. Do you?
so with maneuver with with a margin of success of 4, you can rearm.
That is not likely.
Mhm.
No, they only roll in
But
one
you
dice.
say that you
though.
can attack without a
They're
weapon.
rolling
only
two
rolling one
dice.
die.
2 dice.
2 dice.
Yeah, you can attack without a weapon. That's fine. You just don't get the bonus from the weapon.
So attack, defend, maneuver.
That's my suggestion.
Or
We could also do it. Yeah, I think that's our best bet.
do we open feint? Do we do feint, defend, maneuver?
Well, we don't need to feint because even if we attack, we have more dice than they do. So if they just, we don't need to bypass their defense.
My point is, I think you're okay. So attack's probably safer.
If I have the ability to attack without a weapon, that weapon actually wasn't buffing my attack. Just keep going.
Yep.
You can just
The
punch
weapon's
the
main
rat.
thing was the special ability, which was very helpful.
Yeah, you can just punch the rat out. You wanna?
Yeah.
Just
Pick rat
stomping.
wrestling.
I think it's a classic dwarven pastime.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Two mugs
So
of
sad
ale
I was
and
gonna-
two
These
rats under
rats are
feet.
so small compared to the ones under the ground.
yeah. So yeah, we'll open attack.
Okay. And then I will defend in case this goes terribly wrong.
Now, here's a quick question. With having used the nature there, that didn't tax anything or anything because it was actually relevant, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so does that mean it's usable again at any point in time?
Yes, as long as you have the persona to spend to add it in.
Yep.
Okay.
Or if you want to substitute it as a skill, if there's something within your nature you're doing. So
Okay.
Yeah. Are we good with this? This is actually my first question.
I think this is the move. We just gotta
Just
win
gotta
real fast.
grit our teeth and hope it goes well. Okay. Cool.
all right, all set.
Yep.
Attack versus defend.
Okay.
Defend versus attack, and maneuver versus attack.
Okay.
They have 2 dice. Do I have assistance?
You're attacking first?
Yeah.
Thought I was attacking? Oh,
Oh,
good.
yes, dwarf can attack first. Never mind.
Okay. I am helping whoever's attacking by telling them how to attack by verbally
Oh, thank you.
supervising.
I am
really...
shooting arrows.
Aim
from
for the
above.
head.
Yes.
It's where the brain is. It's very weak.
Yeah, I'm shooting arrows to help. It's more effective than just words.
I disagree. Really, my words can be as sharp and deadly as arrows.
Your words do not pierce flesh.
No, they pierce the mind. Okay.
Will you just stop talking?
Shut up! I'm trying to kill the rats. All right. That ends the conflict.
Yeah.
They
That
only
finishes
had
up the
one hit
one
point.
You
disposition
punched the
remaining.
last rat in the head.
So in this, it is not even a compromise. You ended with full hit points and
We
killed
win.
them all. Yeah.
This is the best possible outcome.
It is. Whew. Well, that was a bit messy, I say, looking at the, like, rat blood-covered boots and fists of the dwarf.
I'm
Stomp over
retrieving
the
my elven arrows that are made for long-lasting durability out of the dead rats.
While you guys are doing that, I'm going to creep over and peek through that door, since there's now a big hole where the handle was.
collect the rats for dinner.
So peeking through the hole in the door, the first thing that you might notice is that on the other side of that door, there's another one of those sigil circles.
Okay,
So as soon as you
don't open this. There's more magical traps. And then I continue looking through.
All right. So when you entered into this the tower, you came in through the south side. You are still on the south side of the tower on the second level. To the left of you, as you're looking through this, is the curved wall, the curved outer wall of the tower. There's another one of those metal privacy screens just to the left of the door.
It's okay.
Inside, the first thing you notice is that it's immaculate in there. It's not dusty like the rest of this tower. There's a bunch of furniture, all in pristine condition. And I'm getting down to, there it is. There's no dust or rubble. Everything appears intact as if the owner had just left the room. At the midpoint of the central wall, so like at a 45-degree angle from where you are at the door, you can see a large ornate bed. Laying in the bed is a body dressed in finery.
More corpses?
You see,
yeah.
standing motionless next to the bed, a fully intact Basalt Guardian.
How big is it now that I can see more than just the head?
About 6 foot tall and about as wide as your dwarf.
Okay.
6 feet tall and super strong, as the internet song goes.
Let's see here. Yeah, you saw the glyph circle on the floor. The chamber also contains 2 comfortable chairs, 5 bookcases overflowing with books, and a desk covered with a suite of alchemical equipment. On the curved wall near the rusted door, so like you're just seeing it, yeah, is... Oh no, but I'm sorry, it's to the left. That's the metal privacy screen. There we go.
Okay. Firstly, now that we finished the conflict, we can pick one of our tests to mark for advancement.
You can.
So
Yep.
I...
The other 2 are...
Yeah, you can. I'm
sick.
sick.
Oh, right. Oh, I'm Arcanist. I say to the others, like, there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Also, another one of those giant statues that isn't destroyed. Also, a sleeping person. Could I tell if that the Guardian seemed to be blocking it partly, I think. But could I tell
the Guardian's
if the person...
like on the other side of the bed, but yeah, you can see the person.
I watched them closely. Are they breathing? Do they seem dead?
Don't know if you can tell. Not from this angle this far away.
Okay. So...
Oh, and I do have to advance the grind for the
sleeping
conflict,
person,
which is another condition.
Oh, right.
go
We're
up
all
and knock
hungry and
loudly
thirsty
on the
again.
door.
No. I will physically stop you.
You're trying to physically stop the dwarf.
I will get in front of you and say, I don't think that's a good idea. Also, they won't wake up anyways. We just fought rats and pulled a door off its hinges and they didn't move. They're probably dead. But if they're not dead, they won't wake up from noise.
So
you know what? Go ahead, knock on the door. I back out of fireball range.
Because
the door with the magic circle on it.
Because we're all now angry, can I drink my wine?
Well, we're not all
angry.
We're all hungry and thirsty if we aren't. That's always the first condition we get if we don't have it from the grind.
Oh, can I drink my wine?
Yeah, if you have it on you, and you can get rid of a condition with it, always.
I'm also angry. Can I clear both?
I did.
I'm saying yes for the purposes of this one shot.
Okay.
That might actually be the rule, but I'd have to look it up, and I'm sick of doing that with these books.
Okay. Does anyone have any
Yeah,
water?
absolutely.
Considering that you drank the water
Nope.
basin and I don't have water.
Nope.
And the water's not refilled yet, is it?
Nope.
Eat the rats.
It'd be 5 turns before that filled up, and you did that on turn 4.
Yeah, eat some rat.
If it helps, I do have 3 preserved rations and 2
That's
small.
raw.
Oh, stacks, not snacks.
You can use the cooking skill to cook rations into like larger meals. So I might just hold on to my hungry thirsty until we camp.
Yeah, you can take preserved rations, turn them into fresh rations. The only downside of that is in a long-term game, whenever you enter into a town, you throw away your fresh rations because they're spoiled.
Yep.
Ugh.
So, do you knock on the door?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you move out of the way, I, knock loudly and say, "Hello, we were here to rob your tower, but if you're asleep, we won't do that anymore. But did you know that there's a landslide that kind of destroyed the whole thing?"
Nothing. There's
See?
no.
It's probably an enchanted sleep, or they're dead, but something magical. Oh, we didn't say
Alright
it.
then. Well then, I guess it's up to you to dispel the ward, just like you did before. Good luck.
How close to the
It looked
wall
pleasant before.
is the Basalt Guardian?
So the room that you're about to go into is the other half of the circle of the tower. The bed is at the midpoint, and the Guardian is on the far side of the bed from you, standing next to the wall, like next to the headboard of the bed.
Okay.
Are they about 6 inches from the wall, though?
I would assume, yeah.
So hypothetically, if I was to shoot an arrow through the neck of the thing and stick it to the wall,
It's made of stone.
It's made of basalt. Yeah,
there's not like gaps.
It's
it's a solid.
Oh,
it's a golem.
don't
okay.
put it on.
That's the plan. Do any of you want to help me with any of this?
Well, I think you're fine.
I can
Lovely.
provide some elven lore on dangers associated with scratching the floor. There's a whole treatise about it.
Well, if none of you know anything about magic circles, then fine, whatever. I wish I had earplugs. All right, let's see if we can do this. I'm gonna try and dispel this.
I was trying to help with
Oh, you
my
are
elven
actually?
lore. Yes.
Okay. If Zen accepts that, then I will accept the help.
Yeah, if you're helping
Yeah.
otherwise. Yeah.
It's a limerick passed down from generations upon generations of elves on the proper methods of scratching the floor.
Okay. I have 2 questions. The second one's dependent on the first.
It's a limerick.
Because this hasn't been activated at all,
Mhm.
is the op easier than it was?
No.
Because I successfully deactivated it before.
No.
Curse you wizards and always using different magical circle ciphers with every single thing. Okay.
But the main problem with you scratching that out is it's on the other side of this door that is still shut.
Can I tell if it activates as soon as the door opens?
Or
is it like
judging from the trap door that you came through before, and when that activated, someone had to cross it for it to activate.
You said
Okay,
there was
then
furniture
yes.
in this room. Can you get a stick and poke it through the hole?
Well, that's actually probably our best bet, is to
I mean, I've got
get like a
They're steel
thick
spikes.
stick or even a
Iron
tubular
spikes.
rock, or
Or we get the stick, we get the iron piton, and
we stick it through the
tie it
hole,
onto
turn
the
it
end,
sideways
and
so it
scratch
catches on the
floor.
door, and then pull the door more.
I was thinking we just use it to scratch the floor before we open the door.
Well, it's if we cross the door, so we can try and open the door without crossing it by using.
It does open toward you, so you don't
Yeah.
have to go into the next room to open the door.
Yeah, I like the new using the iron spike as a handle thing.
Oh yeah, you have the python. Let's use that.
Yes. Yes, I do. Fishes it out back.
It's perfect for this. It's meant for like this kind of weight. What? Rather use an axe and break it?
Always.
Let's use the python.
Every time.
Okay. Do we want to do the same thing as before? Just like all together heave ho health check?
I think that's the answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Dwarf,
Yeah. After
our
you.
healthiest friend.
Yes.
Even though they're sick, you're still healthier than either of us.
Thanks. Okay, helper aid, gear supplies. Think that's it. It's not versus. It is independent against. What is the door at this point? Obstacle.
2, he
2.
said.
Oh, 2. Okay, beautiful. It's on there already. Aha!
Yeah. Door
The
swings
door
open.
this time didn't want to kill me.
The rats didn't... Oh, no, that person's almost definitely dead if the rats were in there. Okay.
Maybe they were guard rats.
Okay,
Or, you
that's
know,
down
his
to...
lunch.
So I'm looking at why you have the -2 successes there. One of them is because you're carrying a backpack. That's in conflicts. It's a minus success to carry a backpack, and I assume that when you get into a fight, you drop your backpack. So,
yeah, and Hungry and Thirsty specifically only says it's -1 to Disposition, which means the character sheet must be wrong, because it shouldn't be on there.
No, it does that because it's a health roll. They assume health is disposition.
Okay. I see.
Okay,
it's
so throughout the entirety of combat, the wearing a backpack probably would have been away. Yeah, well.
Yeah, I hand wave the backpacks during combat. That seems like a gotcha rule that you're like, you didn't say you took your backpack off. You know.
Yeah.
Amusingly enough, the sheet does take it into account automatically.
Yeah.
Just in case this failed, I'm like leaning in front of the doorway, like ready to dispel the thing. We should all take our backpacks off just in case this fails and we have to fight.
But so yeah, ignoring those -2 successes, yeah, you open the door, pulls in fine, the glyphs don't go off. You can now, all of you can now see into the room very well. And yeah, it is like no time has passed inside that room. Whereas like the room you're standing in is thick dust, grime everywhere. In there, it looks like the cleaners were just in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and disable this magic circle.
Okay.
Doors open. Do your thing, mage.
Does anyone have another torch?
Yes. I had 4. Now we're down to 2.
Okay.
How? I understand the name of this game a little more now.
Yep. Oh, I have preserved rations. Oh, cool. Oh well. Yeah. I don't have anything that'll help me. Let's do this. Arcanist. I'm going to... Sorry?
Ob's still 5.
Ob is still 5. I'm going to actually try and succeed this one, so I'm going to use my wizard sight for +1. Were you still helping me, Indigo, for +1?
Yeah, the floor-scratching limerick of the elves.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I cannot tap my nature because I already used my persona. Boy, do I wish I used that tap nature instead of +1 die. That seems actually weird. Oh well.
You have a trait?
I am using a trade.
Yeah.
My wizard sight. And I think that might be all I've got.
Better hope you do good.
Dwarf, are you helping? Please, dwarf friend? I
I'm
look at
trying
you
to
with my
see.
puppy dog wizard eyes.
Fine. I've got shrewd appraisal wise, but I don't think that's.
That's more like seeing how much things are worth, I think.
The only other one that I'm considering is delving, possibly. I have no idea how that could be.
Delving is part of your nature. I mean, yeah, dwarven.
You see
dwarves
traps like this all the time.
Well, yeah, I was about to say.
You might, yeah.
I'm recognizing that one. That one might be useful. Just
that one looks a little dwarvish. If it is what I think it is, it means death.
Okay. Then we're good to go. 7 dice, obstacle 5. I have fate. That I said 5. My dice thing says 5. That's strange.
Oh, yours a versus test.
Yes, let me re-roll that. Oh, not re-roll. that. I do not get that benefit of rerolling. But the Hungry and Thirsty, again, doesn't work like that. It says it's just for disposition rolls. Strange. But that's a 2, which is not a 5.
That is not a 5.
Close to one, unfortunately.
So you're working on it, and you realize that in the sequence that you have to scratch these glyphs out for this to work, the one you need is on the far side of the circle. And you reach over and start scratching that one out, but you slip and fall, and all of you, your eyes snap up towards the Basalt Guardian, and that glyph in its forehead begins to glow, and it stands forward.
Can I shut it down? I want to shoot it in the face to shut it down.
Thing to do right now is get out.
I back away.
Let's leave the tower.
Well, we didn't.
Actually, first, before anything happens, I consult the Pokédex.
You know what happened last time? This turned into a kill conflict last time. You ready for this?
It's an instinct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Before you even have time for that instinct, there is a gravelly sound coming from this thing, like rocks grinding, but it seems like it's trying to speak.
I stop and want to try and listen to it.
Return with
Born of Earth and Stone feels applicable here.
Oh, if you have a
That's
thing,
smart.
You have a thing as well?
Yeah, your instinct's still triggered.
I was going to persuade it that we mean no harm in an ancient elven greeting.
I'm good.
Are you? Instinct happens before anything else. After it speaks.
Let's start with that instinct, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're still using it.
Yeah. So we start with more master.
Okay.
What am I rolling against? We know what it is. We're rolling for capabilities specifically.
Yep.
But I know what it is already because we identified the last one.
I'd say Ob 3. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, Ob
3. All right. Well, once again, I think I'm referring to an older elven model of this creature, and I use a trait against myself.
Okay.
Oh no!
I was rolling one die against Ob 3.
That's fair. I forgot.
I mean, you don't have to roll it. Like,
we do. It's an instinct. I'm locked in.
So you say. Everything we're gonna meet is gonna try and kill us if this keeps happening.
Oh, I could give him a condition. That's fine.
Please do.
I don't know what it is.
So actually, no, you do know what it is. You are now afraid because you know what it is.
Cool.
This is a guardian statue. It has the nature of guarding, smashing, and avenging. It has an instinct to always heed my master's commands.
Is it like intelligent or not really intelligent?
It's a golem. It does what it's told to do.
Okay.
You would also know that there are command words associated with this thing, and if you could just but read the glyph on its forehead, you would know what those are.
Good, you woke it up. Time to go now.
Now can I try to persuade it we mean no harm?
Yes. You have a few seconds as it's standing there after it said something before it acts.
Yeah.
Walking to way to the door is what I am spending those seconds doing.
I would like to sing a short verse about the friendship of elves and the creatures of stone, and the times we spent crushing the dwarven invaders. To tell it we mean no harm.
Aren't you glad I don't know Elvish?
Yep.
I don't know what I'm doing in this. Do you tell me? Do you tell us what you learned in the thing? Like, do you tell us what you learned from
I
the knowledge check?
I shakily say it smashes, it defends, it avenges.
As I back up with
You
that thing,
don't
I will
tell me
grab
that
onto
I
your
could use a
arm and
word of
start tugging
power.
you.
Okay, me?
Yes, you.
I
I'll
follow.
tug at both of you, but that one keeps, trying to talk with it.
I follow, and I do
I
not know that it has a word of power that can control it.
I will tell you also know one thing, Taki, that these creatures cannot be engaged in a capture conflict because their magical nature prevents them from being lifted or dragged off their spot.
Fine.
It protects this room.
I don't want to capture it.
You're just gonna stand just outside of the room where it can't leave, and then
No,
just.
I'm trying to persuade it we mean no harm.
All right, yeah. The obstacle for that is going to be stupid because it doesn't speak your language.
It's the magic elven resonance in its stone.
I think, yeah, you're going to have to beat its nature. I'm 5.
Okay. So I start with Persuader. Obstacle 5. I would like to use my nature to sing to it to have the stone remember the elven touch.
Okay. You're going to spend persona to
Yeah.
tap your nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that. What's funny to me, it's the elves. It's not like, what's the word? I'm mixing. Colonization was done to the elves. It's like the elves were the first colonizers, because just like everything actually belongs to the elves and did before anyone else.
Charge.
Yeah, they just need
Yeah,
to remember it. Even the stones remember.
And I would like to use my trait of Firstborn to cement my importance in this matter.
Okay. the Unlike humans who, when they can't speak the same language as someone, just get louder and enunciate more, elves are not nearly as crass. They just assert their dominance in by force of personality.
Yeah.
Are we helping by getting out of the way?
You want to help? I could use some help.
Helping with Persuader, I mean, if you have social skills, that's really the only skills
sadly,
that will help here.
I'm going to pass on that. I was not actually help. I wish you luck in your quest towards death.
Yeah, that's where one of. Well, no. Do I want to? Politics-wise, doesn't seem useful here. I don't think.
I don't have Orator or Manipulator. I'm definitely not using those 2 skills.
And if we help, we get embroiled in a potential conflict. Yeah, nope. I'm out.
I want that silver mirror, and I am gone. We did it. We were paid up front. There is no reason to go any further.
All right.
Other than a really powerful wizard hunting for you for taking his money and not.
His money is a mirror.
Oh, okay. I was about to turn around, but I'm glad I didn't.
Ouch. Okay.
Yep, that is what happens. That
All
is
right.
the result.
So the Basalt Guardian is not swayed by your elven words.
Oh no.
Yes. And
Does it throw a spear at me? I feel like that's on the table.
no, it does, however, raise its hand where you can see a magnificently chiseled stone mace is, and
Throws a
begins
mace at me.
advancing towards you.
At this point, I am going down the rope.
Yeah, what do you do as it starts barreling towards you?
I run away.
Okay.
Bravely.
It
So
gets to
Robin,
the
run
doorway
away.
and stops with the mace up and does not chase you any further.
I'd like to try to just study, because I'm like probably near the top of the rope.
Oh, now that we're like panting in the hallway, I yell to the wizard, "There's a word on its face.
Okay.
Say it."
Okay. I see that it's like stopped. I probably surmise like, oh, it can't leave the room. And I try to read the glyph on its forehead. You said it was an identical glyph to at least the previous Basalt Guardian. The glyph on the forehead for that one was identical to the one on the ground, right?
So yeah, the glyphs are all the same. It's just that the one on the piece of the Basalt Guardian, the bust you have, is no longer glowing, but it's etched in.
Okay. I'd like to try and read the glyph out loud correctly.
Okay. So scholar, lore master, those types of skills will be useful here.
I have lore master. This is magic. I don't know if Arcanist matters for this because I'm not actually performing magic.
Yeah, it would more be the study of magic because this isn't a magic that you use. This is older.
Yep, I have lore master.
All right. So that would be obstacle 4.
Okay. Am I being helped with this?
I can't help. I'm afraid.
That's... Oh, I thought you couldn't benefit from help, but yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yep. All right. Well, obstacle 4, 3 dice base.
Can you help with a trait?
I can help myself with the trait.
No. Well, another person cannot help with a trait.
No. If you have anything that's lore master or scholar, or...
Can you help with will?
Starting.
I don't think so. Not unless you're help. It's like stats can help stats, but that's it, basically. Yeah. Okay. I think.
Oh, wait! I have scholar. What? Yes, sure, I'll help. Okay. I don't know why I do.
So yeah, so I say
scholar is a skill you can use to teach other people your skills, which is real helpful in a
I thought that was mentor. Okay.
Oh no, that's mentor. You're right. It is mentor. I'm sorry.
So I say,
so
dwarf,
yes,
dwarf, come back up here. Can you read this? It's not moving anymore. Come up here.
I'll read this one, thanks. The one on the ground that's deactivated next to me.
I guess I have studied both glyphs. At least the trap versions of both glyphs. Are they the same?
Yes.
Like, okay, so yeah, that I don't protest since that is help. Okay.
I'm conferring, yelling back and forth between the doors, because if this goes wrong, I am nowhere near you.
I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? I release it from its bounds and it chases us for all eternity. It's fine. See? It's fine.
Okay. With a successful test, you do discern that there are 4 commands that these things are programmed with. The 4 commands are serve, destroy, stop, and follow.
And do I know that if I use the follow command, it will follow me? Or is it still bound to its master?
No, if you use the command, it considers you the master.
Okay. Then I'm going to write those down, actually. We're almost done the one shot, but it was serve, stop, follow, and destroy.
Yep.
Okay.
You have to pry the beers off the wall.
Yes.
Tell me how to say follow.
Actually, I speak the command word in the ancient wizard tongue. That is totally not Elven. Serve.
Okay. You walk back into the room because you have to. The glyph has to be activated to do it.
Okay.
It stands at attention again, and you immediately say serve. It turns. It walks over to the privacy screen. Walks behind it. You hear some clattering around, and it comes back to you with a fresh towel over its arm and a pitcher of water.
That's so nice. Thank you. Stop. And then I take, assuming that makes it freeze in place, I take the towel and the water, and I drink the water because I'm hungry and thirsty.
There you go.
Wipe your face.
This is nice. Let's go see what else is in here.
Yeah, as long as you know the command words, it is subservient to you.
Okay.
Is everything going well up there?
Yes.
Yes, it's quite nice. Do you want any water?
Yes.
Serve.
It repeats the process, brings out another towel and some water.
Thank you. This is so nice. Stop. And then I give it to, I guess, Marissa, if you're close, I give it to you. But if not, I just like put it on the ground near the door and say, it's over here.
Does this resolve afraid now that it's being silly?
Uh,
I don't.
narratively, yes. Mechanically, no.
Okay.
Yeah, still a bit shaken. There's still that adrenaline coming down.
Hey, this might be time to take a bit of a rest in this room where we have the servant thing. That's at least
Yeah, that's
useful.
fair.
Yeah, we set up
spot to make
camp. We set up camp in
But
some
there's a
other guy's
person
bedroom
here on the bed.
with
I don't
the
want to
guy
poke
in
Yeah,
the
I know,
him.
we'll chuck him
bedroom.
over. And...
Now that you can get into the room, that guy he's dead.
Okay. Cool.
But it looks like he died maybe 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. So we set up camp in the corpse room.
Okay.
Well, we'll just, be nice and move him into the other room with all rat corpses. We'll check him out.
Yeah, we'll strip the body and shove it in the other room like normal people.
And now you have a nice ornate bed to sleep in.
Yeah.
I would check the bedside table and basically, even as we're camping, I'll do it casually if it isn't a test. For specifically loot, but especially any star maps if this was that wizard.
Oh yeah. Looking through the room, I mean, there's tons of stuff here. The alchemist table is perfectly arranged. It looks like it was never used. There's beakers and flasks and ingredients in clearly marked jars. The table itself can be used as a set of alchemist tools or can be cannibalized as alchemist gear. The bookcases are filled with rare books and scrolls in serviceable condition. There's all kinds of stuff. They're worth a fortune. It looks like some books on ancient celestial language, its laws, and the tracking of the passage of time and the movements of the firmament. There are 25 treatises and 9 codices total. The treatises are pack 1 each. The codices are 2-pack each.
And you said 29 of
25 treatises and 9 codices.
More than we can possibly carry.
Yeah. Each treatise or codex details a systematic exploration of a single subject, and as such, only has value to the rare few who can understand their contents.
I am obviously able to understand all of them in enough time.
Yep.
This is what the nerd who hired us wanted.
Probably, in all honesty.
Yeah.
We really shouldn't have paid us up front.
In adventuring terms, there are 2 types of treasure for you guys. There's like stuff that's obviously valuable that you can bring back, and there's stuff like this where you have to find the person that wants it, and it's very valuable, but only to like 3 people.
Yeah. This is the type of stuff where we'd still want to go back to the original buyer, because as an adventurer, our reputation is the most important thing to us. In this case, they might have repeat work.
Yeah, there is also another mirror in behind that privacy screen. So there are 4 total silver mirrors on this floor, one of which you have claimed.
Okay.
I'm really
And there's
curious to at least try the rest system before we,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
you wanna
let's take
do
a
the
camp
camp?
here.
Yeah. And there's a bed, which means that if need be, there's a wagon. Or a
True.
sled.
Yeah, you can take the bed frame part and
Turn it into a sled to haul of our silver mirrors back.
I mean, we can.
meters, the codices, and have the thing drag.
Is the golem ever able to leave the room if I command it to follow me?
do you command it to follow you?
No.
Okay. Then you don't know.
I'm gonna wait till
That's
next session.
tomorrow's
I'm gonna wait.
experiment.
That's after we camp. Okay.
Cool.
So let's camp.
So yeah, camp phase.
Here we go.
So in the camp phase, you start with camp. You flop down in a safe spot. One player must have at least 1 check. You can decide to set a watch or not. You can decide to keep a dark camp or not. I set camp danger level and roll on the camp events table.
Yeah. The golem acts as watch. We can set him to defend, right?
I can set him to destroy, but not to defend.
You would also know, now that you've seen what happens, remember when it just stood forward and waited before attacking?
Yes.
Anybody that activates that glyph, if
Without
it doesn't
giving
get
a command word. Okay. In that case, yeah, the golem can watch.
We all just sleep comfortably.
And in that case, I'm not even going to bother with the camp events table, I don't think.
It's literally a bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as a wizard, I use my one and only check that I have to rememorize my spells, because that's the downside of a wizard.
I use my instinct to fix up that broken helmet.
There you go. You can make an armorer test.
Sure thing. Against what?
Getting there.
Actually, before I use that instinct, can I maybe cure 6 so that I can, with one of those checks, so that I can actually do something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, can
So
I
just
also?
will ob 3?
Yeah, you can just click the recovery roll. It's set up, I think.
Okay, looking for where that recovery roll might be. Oh,
It's
okay,
next to the condition.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Right. This isn't like you can add in healer or anything from this. It's just a straight roll.
Yep. Yeah, this isn't treating. This is you just getting over it.
Yeah.
Well,
Can
any
anyone help?
Yeah.
What is helping a thing or in camp?
With recovery, I don't think so. Recovery, and there's an order actually.
This is the only thing I have for recovery.
Yep. Characters may make one for recovery order, recovery on adventure, recovery in camp. Okay, that's not helping me.
Oh, I may not wear armor of any type. Who wants my helmet? Or is that not armor?
That's armor.
I guess we have a spare helmet, or someone gets a cash die back because I couldn't have bought it.
Yeah, I think we just get a cash die back.
Yeah.
Take a cash die back.
I never
because
used mine, so. There's no note section in the character sheet. That feels like a thing that could be useful.
Yeah. This recovery section is not helping me. Let me check the other book. Yeah, I had thought I had gone through and made all the handouts I need. Apparently, I need to make way more. Recovery isn't even in this book. Okay, so it doesn't say anywhere in the recovery section on page 55 of the Scholar's Guide that you can't have help.
Okay.
So I would guess it functions as any other test.
Okay.
Sweet. Anyone
I would like
willing
to
to help
help.
me recover?
Yes, I would like to help with.
What are
Elven
you
Acupuncture.
you're recovering from sickness?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I will help as well. I'll try to help with my...
Actually, sorry, I can't help still. I'm afraid.
Do you want to try to treat that first?
Yeah, I can try to treat my fear first. So I can help.
That costs a check, right? I assume treating a thing costs a check. Am I wrong, Zen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
No, unless you have a instinct, then yes.
Okay. So yeah, if you were planning to, we could do that first so you could help the others. Then yeah, no, I would probably have the... I'll help by, like, ordering the Guardian around some more to just, like, make it seem more mundane. See if that helps. I guess that would be my nature. That can't help. Well, it is... Demanding is what I was thinking for nature. Of just, like...
Get better!
Yeah. Demanding the golem do things
Stop
for
being
me.
a pussy and just man up!
Yeah, so I'm gonna
That's what they would.
roll. Huzzah!
There you go. Not afraid.
Nice.
It's not so scary. It's rather cute when you get
Well, I'm
used to
still
it.
violently ill.
Oh, yes, whatever. You elves can't die, after all. That's what you said. Sorry, you never die. So you'll be fine.
Speaking of being violently ill, I'm gonna make my roll to see if I can not be.
Oh, there's probably something on this table for this, and I'm going to use my alchemy skill to help.
There you go.
I would like to help with Elven Acupuncture, where I shoot arrows into you to relieve the illness.
That will.
We'll get those bad
Great.
spirits out. Stand still.
You're not sick if you're dead.
I mean, elves don't die, so, dot, dot, dot. Ha!
No longer sick.
Now, I would like to be no longer sick. Could someone help? I hand my bow to someone.
Nope, you stay sick.
Why do I
Characters
stay
may
sick?
make one recovery test per condition per phase.
So
Per
Oh,
condition
it would have
per
to be
phase.
treated.
Well,
You can't recover.
it said one
You can
recovery
treat it.
test per condition. Per phase.
Oh.
Yeah, we just entered new
Yes,
phase, the camp phase.
Per condition per phase, yes.
So if he has another check, I think he could.
I do. I have 2 more checks.
Okay, I give you
Go
some
ahead.
more mysterious alchemy medicine that is like
Random
labeled in an
two.
ancient language to help.
But, yeah.
Oh, the good news about making tests during a camp phase, though they have to be camp related, is I don't think there's usually a consequence for failure. It's just you lost the check.
Do I have dwarven help?
You do have dwarven help. You've been giving me all of your elven recipes, and I'm getting sick and tired, so finally I'm going to break and tell you one of my dwarven
Hangover
after you've
cures.
shot me with arrows. I've always heard it's good to, chop your head off. That'll work.
Huzzah!
Shooting with
There you go.
arrows. An axe to the face cures all sickness.
Oh, I forgot
And-
about the invisible dot. Sorry.
And important thing to note, you are not fresh just because you clear conditions. Fresh is something you get from
Leaving
being in
town with, I think if we leave town with no other conditions, we become fresh again. It's
Something
a
like
very,
that, yeah.
very rare thing.
Anyhow, I will actually trigger the instinct now and fix your helmet.
There you go.
Cool.
Ob 2 armor.
Beautiful. Gear supplies. Can I hammer that thing back into shape?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And I don't assume anyone is going to help me fix this thing.
I do not have armor.
I don't have any relevance. I can. Oh, it's an elven helmet. It's a helmet of elven design. So I'll use my elven lore.
You did insist on getting an elven helmet, actually, before. Because it has antlers on it.
It's ram horns.
Ram horns, sorry.
As per one-shot rules, I will let that go, but long-term campaign, we're not cheesing it like that.
All right. Your helmet
go.
is better than before. If I had fate, I would use it. That was beautiful.
Sick.
Wow.
Question. Because I succeeded on my recovery from sick test, do I get to mark a pass health test?
It's still a test, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
But does the test that takes the condition away count as advancement because the condition means you
Oh.
couldn't advance?
What happens first, the condition or the advancement?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting question. I'd say yes.
Cool. So I'm going to mark my past will test, because I've not been able to mark anything.
Okay.
Because, like, the second thing we did was get violently ill.
So, yeah, if you have any more checks, you can do other things. Anybody with, I should have mentioned this before for the cartographer, but
That's exactly what I was about to do.
how you map in this game is when you enter a room, you just write a line down of like a short description, and when you get to camp, though the number of descriptions you have of rooms is the obstacle to cement them onto a map, so that you won't need to make a test to travel to different places.
Okay, then let's see. I'll quickly write down the locations.
I mean, yeah, I would assume you have the 1, 2, 3 rooms that
I
you've
think it's
been in.
3, yeah. So I'll map our progress. And once it's been progressed, if I remember correctly, it's effectively automatic traversal, basically.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't have to roll another test to get back over the loose rocks by the landslide if that's successfully.
Correct, yeah. In a dungeon setting, it would be more like, all right, we made it to this part of the cave, and then we went back to town, and now we come back to the cave, and you can just advance to
And then we're
where
just
you
back.
were before
Yeah.
without any tests.
Yep.
That doesn't mean, however, that enemies didn't populate the
Yes.
areas that you went through. It's just that
It's-
you avoided them.
Yeah, it is pseudo fast travel. Well, I'm going to try that. So I have my cartographer skill. All 3 for everything, but the only one I think I'm going to just, if I can do this, I'm just going to map basically the way into the tower, because so far that's the only thing that's really dangerous. And once it's in, we're in. So it's just ob 1, 3 dice. Question: can I use a trait against myself in camp to get a check?
To get a check? I don't think so.
Okay.
It said, I just read that at the end of the camp phase, you lose all unspent checks. So.
But you can. But can you gain a check to then
spend it
get another
same...
one while in camp? I don't think you can. It seems counter to the phases.
Then I will just use my last trait, since at the end of the session, for myself, my thoughtful trait, to get a bonus, just in case. And I did not need it, but there we go. So
There you go.
I also really... Okay. I also need a note section. I'll write that down.
Cool.
I guess with my last check, so that it's not used, I will jury-rig this bed into something that will help us get all the books back to town more easily.
All right. So, yeah, you made it most of the way through. There's actually only one room left, and barring any failed rolls, you made it past all of the known enemies. Basically, the Basalt Guardian was the worst thing here.
Okay.
It had nature 5, so good thing you didn't fight it. I think it had 11 in a kill conflict, but it mostly just tries to drive people out of the room.
11 in a kill conflict. That's a monster.
Yeah.
Send that thing against a dragon, and it would have a decent time.
Cool.
The one piece of treasure you did pick up was that signet ring, and there it is.
Bristling moonlight. Ooh. Very nice.
Correct? I would not have given that up.
Yep. Okay.
But yeah, that's basically Torchbearer. I mean, we can do persona stuff, but that's, normal.
Yeah.
Did you hit your goal? Did you play into your belief? That kind of thing. But yeah.
Yep.
That's basically Torchbearer.
Sick.
It's interesting. I can see how this game is really, really built around managing equipment. Like, that is a huge thing, and if you're going into this game, that's why. So.
I think it's a big part of it. It's not, to me, just about managing equipment, but the way that it manages equipment is very different from the way almost any other game manages equipment.
Well, it's managing equipment conditions. It's resource management in a lot of ways.
That's true. And
I
equipment
guess it's
is
more
a large
fussy about
part of the
managing
resources.
equipment than anything else. Like, a lot of games will abstract equipment to the levels of, you have what you need in your bag, or, what do you mean, wait? I just carry 5 sets of armor around at all times. And this is very, very picky about that, which is a very different style of play.
To know, this is how picky you can get with equipment. In very rare cases, if something is picking through your backpack, the top item in a twist is likely the one that is taken, or if the bottom of your backpack breaks out, it is the bottom item that gets lost in the order of the way things are.
The order it is how it's packed in your backpack, which can affect, like, I need to get that thing that's in the bottom of my bag. That makes the test worse to pull it out in time.
Yep. So
interesting.
It is. I find it interesting. I find it somewhat intuitive, but I do have a bit of experience with it. We played, I think, an 8-session campaign. Maybe it was 4 to 6.
I think
first edition.
Yeah, we played Dread Crypt, and then I tried adapting it to the Moat House in Temple of Elemental Evil. It's a D&D campaign, which I think worked pretty well, but I did not have a good enough grasp of the system to run it well at that point.
Yeah, Torchbearer is its own thing, separate from... I don't have experience with Mouse Guard, so it might be more similar to that. But it's separate from Burning
simpler
Wheel.
than Torchbearer.
Okay. It's separate from Burning Wheel. It's separate from D&D. It's sort of its own type of GMing and dungeon design style, because the dungeons are actually pretty short. Like you said, we were mostly done it. There was another room
Yeah.
above, but
Yeah,
I'm guessing that
there
was
one more
the
room.
last room. Yeah, there's a 4-room dungeon.
The interesting thing is in the pacing of this, right? The suggested like building a dungeon thing, because these books are great. Even if you're not going to play Torchbearer, pick up this book set if you're interested in building a world, because by God, it's awesome at doing that. Um, but sorry, I lost my point now.
Dungeon design?
Yeah, the dungeon, the pacing. It says prepare 4 to 5, or sorry, 6 to 8 challenges, just something you're going to roll on, and that should be 2 to 3 sessions.
And this
Which is
was one session with less than that, I think.
Yeah.
If you don't count less like doing recovery rolls or silly rolls.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that's part of the calculus.
Yeah, so the pacing is going to be jarring for a lot of people that are used to D&D, where they're like, all right, 5-room dungeon for a night. And your average D&D player isn't going to come into this and say, oh, we should take our time and not roll and, move things around, because current style of play with D&D is I roll a perception check to see if I know anything that's in front of me at all.
Yeah.
This game assumes that you have eyes and you use them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It definitely has some OSR vibes for that part, especially of just like the DM will tell you what you see, and if you describe yourself poking around, you just poke around, and yeah.
And yeah, that might trigger a test because you picked up the wrong thing, but that's dungeoning,
Mm-hmm.
It was also kind of interesting that creating those bits and having it play narratively, but aside from, Persona and Fate, didn't really affect anything.
Yeah, it has bits, but it's not focused on them. I consider the bits in Torchbearer to either, and both, be partly they feed into with how traits work and how instinct works. They feed into the turn and roll system and camp, the turns and phases. And with the belief and goal, they feed into the fate and persona, but also they primarily are there to add flavor to how your characters act in a certain situation. They're a lot more like almost honestly D&D character beliefs and stuff in other systems. It's
Yeah, it's
flavor,
much simpler.
it's spice, it's not core.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not core, because the game has so much of a gamist approach to it, right? Because all you're worried about between, when you decide on a roll is how am I going to get these dice? What mechanics am I going to lean on? This game can devolve into more of more of a tactical dice builder game.
Yeah.
So tying the beliefs and stuff into the reward system means you have to role play.
It's a good
if you want
counterweight.
those rewards.
That's fair.
Unless I make
Yeah.
my instinct, I practice the sword 9 hours every time we make camp.
I guess it is a good counterweight, you're right. I guess maybe it's not the focus of the game directly is true, but I guess I could see how you're right in that it is core to the gameplay by keeping the focus not entirely on the on the mechanics board game part.
So, and that's where I run into trouble with running Torchbearer. It's that all of the rules are designed for the environment and the people and the NPCs to be screwing with you. There's really no space it gives me to allow you to roleplay. So so the reward structure being on your end means that you make it a priority.
We
I
have
don't
to
have to
push it in. And that's also one thing we saw and we didn't follow properly in the conflict procedures was we have to describe in the narrative what we're doing in order for our conflict. I feel that's a bit too artificial, but it is part of the rules.
Yep.
Even outside of conflicts,
feel it's
I
wrapping
noticed
paper
when it
is
was
what I would call that.
describing doing things that's not I use the armor skill, it's I, beat this thing and just hoping that it references the armor skill. But that's really hard to do when you have this skill list here.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
definitely one of the tension is definitely there between the narrativist and gamist mindsets.
And it takes, I would say, about 4 or 5 sessions before you're comfortable enough with the system to not be worried about, oh God, I need to angle for this kind of test. and actually be able to play your character.
Yes, I agree. Getting used to the system helps a lot too.
Yeah. Oh, I still think it's cool. It's a little more
I
complicated
agree.
than Mouse Guard. But,
I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed the last time I played. Part of it might have been that I just wasn't playing a character that I ended up liking. I don't know. Part of it might just be that it was a one-shot, so I didn't see my character suffer. One of the issues that I had last time was I didn't find that I enjoyed experiencing the grind. I think it was a partially degree of bleed, but also partially I like seeing my character suffer because of their own actions. A lot of this is your character often suffers because things happen to them.
Because they cause things to
Not,
happen to them.
yeah. But
then I definitely suggest you check out Mouse Guard because it has the same sort of condition mechanic, but there's no grind attached to it.
Yeah.
okay.
It only advances based on you doing stuff and failing or succeeding, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit less brutal in that there's not an auto tick as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and quite honestly, no other mechanics are tied to the grind.
Yeah, I was just thinking
So
that.
removing the grind, not really a big issue if you wanted to hack it out.
Except for the hungry and thirsty. That was tied to it, but is really easy to.
Well,
But you can
the grind,
you can still inflict hungry and thirsty through a twist on a skill test though.
basically with the when the turn reaches the 4th turn, the 8th turn, and that kind of stuff, those conditions, we don't have to use those technically. I mean, it
Yeah.
is part of the core rules, but you could hack that out without much of an impact on the rest of the game.
I wonder if that's intentional.
I mean, it doesn't really say so, and the grind is sort of a feature of Torchbearer. I mean,
It's the
It's
thing
designed
people,
around.
Very
It's
much so.
It's
you hit
designed
the
around
nail-
the grind.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with the OSRE feel. It's about the time clock in normal in OD&D that you'd have in a dungeon where you count turns. That is the abstraction of the turn counter.
Mm-hmm.
Is just the grind.
Yep. No, I wonder if how that would change without it. It would probably just be a lot
Without it, you have
lighter
to
of a
track
tone?
time. You'd have to track time. Is how you'd swap it out.
yeah, basically you'd still have to have the grind up. You just wouldn't inflict the condition because you got to track light and other things.
That's true, you would. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Cool. Well,
Okay.
had a good time.
Thank you everyone for
That's
watching.
about it.
We will probably be back next week with more
Something.
Numenera. See if you guys are able to do whatever you're doing with those weird tentacle head mutant things.
Yeah. Forgot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. It's a strange game. I don't know how things were going to go. I never know how things are going to go in that game. But you hypothetically are almost near the end.
Yeah. Cool.
We'll be back next week. Later.
Yeah. Later.